welcome back. Still watching Hot Commodities. Now, the Indian rupee had a positive session of trade today. Strength in domestic equities along with dollar selling by exporters and some recovery in overall Asian currency basket also boosted the rupee. Finally, it ended the day at 63.64 to the dollar. Good 20 paise recovery in the last 2 days. Remember, after the bell, of course, after 5 o'clock when the money market shuts, the upbeat core sector data has also been released. The core sectors data has come in at 4.4% versus a negative data in April, which is a 6-month high. This is also something which the market would react to. Not only that, the fiscal deficit for the 2-month, April and May, has also been released just moments back. That number stands at 2.09 lakh crore, also being seen as slightly on the lower side by the economists, which we have taken reactions from. So possible trades tomorrow. Abhishek Goenka, founder and CEO of IFA Global, joins us on the show. Abhishek, good evening. How are you looking at the reaction tomorrow morning for currency? In the last hour of trade today, there was some strength coming in, and these macro data, how do you think it will be absorbed tomorrow?
I think if you look at the currencies, even when yesterday when the news broke out and all the global markets were down, Indian currencies didn't get a lot weak, And in the later half of the day, it almost was flat. And today, once we have started seeing the global markets getting stabilized, the European markets are stabilized and Indian markets have again gone up, the currency was the first thing to appreciate. So it gives me a sense that on a short term, so I'm talking about the short term, there is a possibility that we could see some appreciation happening in the rupee, possibly towards the 63.30, 63.40 like that. But on a medium term, of course, the fundamentals don't change. The fundamentals still say that rupee is overall slowly depreciating currency, and it will head towards the 64.5, 65 in the coming 3 to 6 months time frame. But on a short term, possibly we could see some kind of an appreciation happening on the rupee.
Abhishek, a fair point. You believe that in the medium term there could be some strength coming in. So how should one play that trade? Is it the time to go long rupee and short dollar?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the local currency perspective, yes, exporters who are completely not sold, I think they should look at selling something close to 65, 70 also, even though we have seen levels of 64, 20, 30 in the last recent past. And importers, I think they should look at levels of close to around 63, 20, 30 levels to actually start buying, because 63 remains a very, very important support, where RBI would also be very active, and technically also it's a very strong support. So I think that's the play around which one should be doing. Interesting thing for exporters also is to be seen that overall the longer term forward premiums have been continuously coming down, and till now the RBI has been protecting that, but now in the future going forward, next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the line, the premiums that we are seeing currently may not be seen again. So I think that is one opportunity where one should be looking at covering 1 year or more than 1 year, depending on their industry and depending on their business cycles. But that is some opportunity I think exporters should make use of, the premiums at least.
Right. Abhishek, very quickly, tell us, how do you think the euro-dollar pair pan out? Because there seem to be a lot of tug-of-war between the creditors and the Greek government, and that is impacting euro, which weakened a bit today. So how do you think things could pan out, and which side of the trade one should position as a trader?
When you talk about euro, I don't think it's extremely bearish. The entire mass is thinking that it's going straight one down because the quantitative easing and because the Greece issue and the US hiking rates. But if you look at euro, I think 1.0708 is a level which is getting a lot of buys, and so I would say that 1.08 to 1.13 is broadly the range of the euro with a slight depreciating bias. But I would not be very, very pushy in selling euro below 1.08. And with regards to the Greece issue, I think another 3, 4, 5 days, I think there should be a consensus between both the parties. Neither of the parties can afford to, for the Greece to exit from the existing setup. They have a lot of money to lose, and these guys have a lot of lifestyle to use. So I think going forward, there should be a consensus, and possibly that's the time when rupee could slightly appreciate and euro could slightly go up towards the 1.13 or 1.14 levels.
All right, Abhishek, we'll let you go on that one. Thanks a lot for joining us on the show today. In fact, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Hot Commodities. Thanks very much for watching. Rush Hour is coming up next.